Hey, what's up everybody? Eternal Fire here, and today I'm coming to you live on the PTR testing out 725, and there's a few things I want to talk about. One, the only thing that's really changed as far as we can see so far is they've nerfed the damage done of Revenge by 12%. But let's face it, Revenge is pretty overpowered, so I can see why they did that. I mean, the fact that I'm able to pop Battle Cry and other cooldowns and then have Revenge hit every target in melee range for over 800k is pretty ridiculous. So I don't really think it's a big deal at all. And if that's the only thing coming to changes with the Prot Warrior, I think that Blizzard is really happy with what they've done with the Prot Warrior. Let's talk about another thing, and there's not a lot of information about it, is the Legendary Ring. So the Legendary Ring, basically, they're calling it the class ring. Every class gets this type of ring, and basically what it does is it adds a talent. So you get the ring, it's crit, haste, mastery, which is great stats for us. It's going to be 970 because that's going to be the new legendary item level. And basically what it does is it gives you the talent Vengeance. So you get the stats on it, the crit, haste, mastery, but then it also gives you the talent Vengeance, which is really cool. It's just going to add to survivability and just good rage management. Basically, we've talked all about Vengeance in the past, so we know what that is. But being able to have that, and then you can talent for Booming Voice, which ideally you want to do anyway. It's a huge damage increase, it gives you rage, and it also is a damage reduction. So when you have Booming Voice and Thunder God's Vigor, it's amazing to have those two put together because you get Booming Voice up all the time. But just being able to have Vengeance is a really huge thing, and basically we're not sure how you get this ring yet. It seems kind of like it's going to be a, maybe the final stage of your Class Order Hall campaign, but there's nothing for sure. It might be a random drop, nobody knows. So I really hope it's a quest line that you can follow. It's something that you can work toward, aspire to getting, versus just randomly hoping and praying like every other legendary that it drops. So that's a pretty big, that's a pretty big thing to have. And when you do have that legendary, there's again, something that we don't know if it's going to happen or not, is are you going to be able to equip your class legendary, your class ring, with two other legendaries or not? Is it going to be you stay at two legendaries and you can pick, your bracers and your belt with your ring, or is it going to be your bracers and your ring, your belt and your ring, and then you have to choose? So basically, if that were the case, it's just another thing that you have to decide, okay, what's more powerful in this, for this raid boss, for this dungeon, for this trash, what is more beneficial? Do I need the extra ignore pain in the, the reduced rage cost, or do I need the extra heals from Manaroth's Bloodletting Manacles? It's just something you're gonna have to figure out. Again, we don't know how it's gonna work. If you get 3 legendaries and you're able to equip that with 2 other legendaries, that's the best case scenario, obviously, but we just don't know. Okay, let's talk about something else. So I went on the PTR, and there's a vendor here who lets you get 4-piece from the Tomb of Sargeras gear. So it's item level 900 for normal, and this is basically how I set it up. This is the part that I really like, and it gives it some redeeming value. So obviously, if you do, if you're going to be raiding, this is just normal gear, but if you're going to be raiding heroic, it's a much higher item level. So you're going to be hopefully raiding heroic or higher, and you don't want to just hang on to the fact that I personally feel like the 2 set for Nighthold is really good, and then the 4 set is just kind of an added bonus. When you critically block, it generates 5 rage. It's always nice to get extra rage, right? So then we look at the tier set bonus for Tomb of Sargeras, and Berserker Rage is now a thing. We're going to be adding this into our rotation, basically. It's an extra button we have to use. Berserker Rage instantly generates 20 rage and an additional 10 rage every 1 second for 6 seconds. So they nerfed this already, and what it was originally, I think it was 50 or 60 rage when you hit Berserker Rage. Now it's going to be this, you kind of build rage over, you get some initially and then build more over time. So basically it's adding more rage than it was before. It's just not all immediate. So what you want to do ideally, let's take, you know, any boss where you're going to take a large hit. You're going to maybe hit this, if you're rage starved, you're going to hit this before you take that big hit and wait for that rage to build up to help you get, you know, those powerful ignore pains. You know, so you can have a full rage bar, you can get 2 ignore pains in, you can mitigate almost, you know, all of the hit, if not all of it. So those are the kind of things you're going to want to use Berserker Rage in preparation for a big hit coming up. So that's how you're going to want to plan to use your Berserker Rage now that it's part of our rotation. Here's the part that I really, really like, is you have 6 tier slots, right? You have the Breastplate, Cloak, Handguards, Great Helm, Greaves, and Pauldrons. And with that, you can have the 4-piece here, and you can still get the 2-piece set bonus from Nighthold, which is really amazing. And I would recommend, if you don't have good, you know, tier pieces from that you continue to raid Nighthold until you get like a Titan Forge. Like right here, I have the Titan Forged tier helm in Nighthold. So it's Titan Forged at 925. That item level, since it's Titan Forged, is going to stay pertinent into Tomb of Sargeras. So if you don't have a good Titan Forged tier piece, I recommend getting it, because I personally do not want to lose the you gain 20% increased chance to critically block while shield block is active. That's just really awesome, because you have shield block up constantly, and being able to have that 20% added increase to, you know, critical block, it's just, it's something you can't go without. So this is what I recommend. Obviously, you're going to take what you can get initially, but I would prioritize making sure that you have the 2-piece from Nighthold still. That's what you want to focus on. My opinion. This is my opinion. If you guys think differently, please go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me what your thoughts are on the situation. But this is the setup that I will try to strive to have, is the Nighthold helmet and gloves. The gloves are just a filler. But the reason for the helmet for Nighthold is because it has haste mastery. The gloves is just crit mastery, at least it has mastery on it. But let's go on to the Tomb of Sargeras gear. I'm going to recommend getting the shoulders, with the cloak, with the chest, with the legs. And the reason being is the stats for the shoulders have haste on it and versatility, which really we're going for the haste. The cloak, it's not great, but it has mastery. The chest is going to be your best statted piece, so it has large amount of haste and then mastery, so that's just best case scenario. And then the legs have versatility and mastery, so you know, you have high versatility, you have good versatility, high mastery. You know, that's just good for overall tanking. Again, I wish Tomb of Sargeras had more haste on the gear. I wish the stats were more ideal. It seems like 1 or 2 pieces are good. Like, I like haste versatility, haste mastery, and you know, we have that on 2 pieces of gear. So it's just gonna kind of have to be, you know, we got to deal with that just like we did in Nighthold. So the reason I didn't go with the helmet is obviously because of the 925 Titan Forge. But then if you get like a different piece, like say you have the cloak, you know, the tier cloak, and it, you know, that has haste on it from Nighthold, you could go with that and then go with the tier helmet, which also has haste on it. So just basically play around with the 2-piece plus the 4-piece and go with whatever has, you know, haste on it or mastery, versatility, something like that. You know, I didn't go with the Tomb of Sargeras gloves because it has crit versatility, so it's just something that you're gonna have to play with. You know, with whatever pieces of gear that you do have, you have to customize those accordingly. But I'm just really happy that it's, you know, you have 6 different options for the tier, so you can get your 4-piece, which I'm not really, I mean, it's gonna be good because Shield Slam reduces the cooldown of Berserker Rage by 3 seconds, so you're gonna have Berserker Rage up all the time, especially if you're running Devastator. So I'm just glad that I'm not going to lose my tier piece, so that makes me feel better on the inside. And then, I mean, we're getting nerfed with Revenge by 12%, so it's not a huge deal. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. You know, the tier pieces going into 725, the changes with talents, which is basically nothing, and then the legendary ring. And I think it's really cool. I just am curious to see if they increase the amount of legendaries we can have. But that's all I got for right now. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Please leave comments. I love getting comments. I love having conversations with you guys. It makes me better at the game, because sometimes you guys are like, dude, why didn't you do this? What are you, like, retarded or something? And I'm like, I guess I am. And then I make a video about that. So, you know, let's just build the warrior community. So leave comments, and definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos about the Prot Warrior and other classes that I make content on. If you have any video ideas, please let me know. I'd love to hear that too. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.